litigants in the case we will discuss today, but we are guardians of principle, standing in the gap where injustice has taken root. We extend our profound gratitude to you, the members of the Fourth Estate, the media. Your presence here is not merely noted, it is essential. In a climate where narratives can be manipulated and truths buried, your role as watchmen, investigators, and impartial communicators to the public is the bedrock of an accountable society. We trust you to carry the facts we present today with accuracy and courage. We also acknowledge and speak directly to the people of Ghana from every region and every walk of life. We speak to the silent majority who believe in fairness, who respect the institution of marriage, and who expect the court to temples of justice. Furthermore, we recognize our brothers and sisters in the diaspora whose love for Ghana is unwavering. We are here to present documented facts, expose glaring contradictions, and issue a clarion call for systematic integrity. The case of Mrs. Akosua Serwaa versus a system that has failed her is a litmus test for the very soul of our nation's justice system. We therefore ask for your attention, the discernment, and your solidarity. Thank you. The couple first married customary in Ghana in 1991. Kumasi Bomso. Later on December 23, 2024, 204, these solemnized their union under German law at the Civil Marriage Registry in Bochum, Germany. This civil marriage created a monogamous, legally binding covenant recognized internationally for over 2 decades. Following their customary marriage, Akosua Serwaa was the publicly acknowledged wife, managing the home and family as Charles' career soared. Indeed, it was upon uniting with Akosua Serwaa that the Lumber's professional path was solidified and his most enduring legacy was forged. The documented professional partnership between Charles and Akosua began at the very dawn of his stardom. After forming the famous duo, reference properties that are central to this case, the house at Central Hills, Domi East Legon, with many others including businesses. It is stated that these were built by Mrs. Akosua Serwaa and her husband. She was not a beneficiary of wealth created apart from her. She was a co-creator of that wealth. Their matrimonial home was a joint project. Complained of back pains after returning to Germany later that year, they began necessary arrangements for his health and later surgery. Prior to the procedure, he mentioned to his wife the urgent need to return to Ghana quickly and back in time for scheduled surgery in Germany, their matrimonial abode. However, when he landed in Ghana, to her shock, he informed her of the rare reason why he left to Ghana, which was that he feared to undergo the surgery in Germany as he didn't trust the healthcare providers. She questioned and was upset his decision, as that was not the plan nor discussion. However, he had made his ultimate choice as an adult.
After the shock of his unplanned decision to remain Ghana, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa Fosu had no choice than to remain in Germany with her minor children and fend for them. As a mother of three, she had no option but to stand strong and face her new challenge of being the sole breadwinner of the home. Riddled with the burden of responsibilities, a mortgage, and many financial commitments, clearly she was abandoned. Even during this abandonment birthday celebration, he also clarified false narrative, which was in secretion, that she had poisoned her husband, hence his bad health. How could she have poisoned him when she lived miles away abroad? Her support was financial, medical, and steadfast always. Fundamentally, it is right to say Mrs. Akosua Serwaa Fosu was the very beacon of his success. Like the saying goes, behind every successful man, there is a woman. Mrs. Akosua Serwaa Fosu was simply that. She was his producer, financier, stabilizer, nurse, protector of his brand, and co-investor. To sever her from his legacy is not only a personal wrong, but a factual erasure of the very foundation upon which the legend of Daddy Lumba was built. He acknowledged her very raw and incomparable presence in her life by praising her effort toward him in many of his hit songs, one being Entise Adia and Chemia. Her contributions are documented in his official biography, in the financial realities she managed, and in the numerous properties they built together, which has all now become a bone of contention. Any honest account of who is Daddy Lumba must unequivocally answer. He was a man whose genius was enabled and sustained by his wife, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa Fosu, for over 30 years. The circumstances surrounding Daddy Lumba's death are sloughed in action that prevented accountability and closure for his legal family. The body was allegedly moved from the home without police notification. The family was denied access to the body, and their request for an autopsy was blocked for nearly 5 months. While this action may involve other actors, they created an environment where President Foley was positioned as the sole gatekeeper to the disease, intensifying the grave and powerlessness of his lawful wife and children. For clarity of doubt, in 2011, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa Fosu and children came to Ghana for a summer holiday. We asked, where was Priscilla? Where was she? Subsequently, she was also in Ghana 2012. Where was Priscilla again? You see, while creating lies, the trials of proof is evidence, and we have this proof, such as her visa time stamped to Ghana and communication with her husband. It is important for the public to understand and debunk false claims that President Foley nursed him in sickness for over 10 years, as she claims, citing he was bed-bound and immobile for that lengthy period. However, It is interesting that before his surgery for his spine in 2013, Daddy Lumba was already involved with Priscilla because her first child with him was born in December 2011. During this so-called prolonged period of immobility, she bore 6 kids with a man. Make no mistake, Priscilla Taufoli is an individual whose documented identity is inconsistent, whose legal claim of marriage is directly contradicted by her own official declaration, and whose actions have resulted in immeasurable harm. After one of Lumba's visits to Germany and returned to Ghana in 2014, headlines declared that Mrs. Akosua Serwaa had attempted to poison her husband. But how could Mrs. Akosua Serwaa have done that when she was in Germany and that Lumba was in Ghana? Their mission was to ruin her reputation at all costs. They caused great stress for Mrs. Akosua Serwaa, which caused her to live in perpetual fear in Germany. She feared that people would be aggressive and even harm her. For years, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa wore a hoodie outside at all times as she was recognized as his wife. By 2018, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa was even too fearful to attend her late mother's burial, prompting her sister-in-law, Ma Bimpoma, to travel to Ghana with her. Daddy Lumba conducted the funeral rite for Mrs. Akosua Serwaa mother, alongside the rest of the family at the burial site. He never divorced Mrs. Akosua Serwaa. Honorable people, press, and citizens, gather here. Ask yourself, what legacy did Daddy Lumba build with Priscilla after their path crossed? Before she came in the picture, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa, her husband, had acquired all their properties and business together. What sacrifice did this lady really make? It's important for some of us to truly reflect on this complex situation. It's astonishing that why some are accusing his wife of a crime she didn't commit. Daddy Lumba remained silent for a decade, 10 good solid years. Just a few months before his demise, he cleared the waves, debunking the false claims on poison meted out to her. In Lumba's speech, he stated, "My wife, Mrs. Akosua Serwaa, that I have married, will never ever poison me. It's untrue. Rather, my health was a result of my spine injury." He further went on to praise her for her love and consistent dedication to him. Notably, he didn't refer to Mrs. Akosua Serwaa as his first wife or then wife. Yet, some of us seem to lack the insight to pick up on that subtly. Mrs. Akosua Serwaa isn't fighting with Priscilla. No, not at all. She is simply claiming what is rightful hers, which the law of the land must back her. The later Mrs. Akosua Serwaa and her husband, Daddy Lumba, spoke was on Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025, which happened to be Sharon's birthday, their second child. Just a few days later, on Saturday, she received the heartbreaking news of her husband passing. Mrs. Akosua Serwaa is a woman of immense strength and substance. Her kindness shouldn't be mistaken for weakness. It's truly disheartening to see some bashing her in this situation? If Mrs. Akosua Serwaa Fosu were a member of their own family, how would they feel? It's a thought that really hits home. Then later, with President Ofoli, Akosua Serwaa primarily concerned, she decided not to put marital problems in the public to avoid besmirching the disease. Disease hard name or bland. This protective instinct, patronizing his legacy over her own pain, underscores her fear-long role as a guardian of his career and public stature. We strongly disagree with the position and judgment of the High Court and have accordingly supported the widow in filing an appeal before the court. As law-abiding citizens, we are committed to waiting for the decision of the Court of Appeal before passing any further comment. Again, we would like to state that in terms of the legal handling of the estate of DL, a few issues are worth mentioning as far as we are aware. There is no will by the legend, which legally means that any distribution in terms of his estate will of necessity have to be in line with the provisions of PNDC law 111 following the grant of letter of administration by a court of competent jurisdiction. As far as we are aware, no such LA, which is letter of administration, has also been granted by any court. It therefore baffles our understanding that certain properties clearly known to belong to Mr. and Mrs. Fosu are being purported to have been transferred or gifted to persons believed to be family members, Madam Odobroni. We would urge all right-learning members of society to be aware that no property right trade within the estate of Daddy Lumba can be legally transferred or sold to anyone until such a time as a LA has been granted by the court. We have laid bare the fact we have exposed the inconsistency, the procedural injustice, and the devastating consequences of a flawed judgment. Now we turn from recounting this wrong to demanding its remedy. We appeal not with anger, but with a determined call for the restoration of order, truth, and the rule of law in Ghana. To the people of Ghana and the court of public opinion, you are the ultimate guardian of our nation's soul. We appeal to your innate sense of fairness. Look at the evidence presented. A wife of over 30 years, a co-builder of legacy, has been stripped of her status by a court that rejected her document on technicalities. It made no effort to resolve. Look at the claimant who declares herself single to fallen government while claiming to be a wife in our court. This is not a complex legal mystery. It is a clear moral and a factual wrong. We ask you to stand with truth, amplify the story, demand accountability. Let no one say that Ghanaians stood silent while such an injustice was perpetrated in their name. To the judiciary and the Judicial Council, we appeal for urgent review and inspection. The judgment in Mrs. Akosua Serwaa Fosu and Abusua Panyin Kofi Usu and us as shaking public confidence when the court dismisses a core of civil document without exhaustive forensic verification, while accepting contradictory oral claims, is set a dangerous precedent. We appeal for a scrutiny of this specific judgment and the conduct that led to it. The judiciary must be fortress of impartiality, not a stage for evidential asymmetry. Uphold the integrity of your noble institution by ensuring this matter is revisited with the rigor, fairness, and pursuit of truth that every citizen deserves. To His Excellency, the President, the Attorney General, and the Ghana Police Service, we appeal for executive and investigative action. This case has spread beyond a civil dispute into matters demanding criminal investigation. Investigate the circumstance of death, the family right to an autopsy, and transparent inquest into the death of Charles Kojo Fosu has been obstructed. We appeal for state intervention to ensure this occurs, investigate potential fraud and perjury. The growing contradiction between President Foley's sworn single status on official document and her married claim in court demand a criminal investigation for potential perjury and fraud on immigration and corporate document. Investigate the misappropriation of assets and funds, the alleged gifting of the Fosu marital properties to the family of President Foley, and the commonly of public funeral donations, as noted by the High Court, must be investigated as potential theft and financial malfeasance. Investigate the conduct of the unauthorized lawyer. The Ghana Bar Association must urgently investigate the lawyer who has allegedly assumed control of estate assets without legal authority from the lawful family. To the chiefs and traditions rulers of Ghana, noticeably the traditional rulers of the Ashanti Kingdom, we ask you use right standing in society to bring about justice, fairness as according to tradition. To the diaspora, our family abroad, we make a special appeal to you. You have seen how the lawful wife, a diaspora Ghanaian like many of you, has been treated. If her legal marriage can be dismissed, her property seized, and her right voided, what security do your investment and legacies back home have? Your remittance contributing billions annually to Ghana's stability are sent with trust. That trust is broken. When the system fails to protect your own, we appeal for your powerful voice. Lend your influence, your network, and your demand for accountability to this cause. Your engagement is crucial. To international observers and human rights bodies, we appeal for your witness. This is a case study in the deprivation of a woman's right to property, inheritance, and fair judicial process. What this space hold Ghana accountable to its own laws and its international commitment to justice and gender equality. In this difficult journey, we have not been alone. We conclude not with a note of despair, but with deep and sincere gratitude. We thank the moral and courageous members of the media here, present and abroad. Your dedication to uncovering and reporting the truth is the oxygen of democracy. You have given voice to the voiceless, and for that we are eternally grateful. We thank the many legal professionals, academics, and civil society advocates who have reviewed this case, offered their counsel, and spoken out privately and publicly against the injustice they see. Your expertise and solidarity fortify our resolve. We thank the maternal family of the late Charles Kojo Fosu, especially his sister Ernestina Fosu, for their courage in standing for truth within a fractious family context, even obtaining a crucial injunction to hold an exclusionary funeral. We extend gratitude to the members of the public, both in Ghana and across the globe, who have listened, analyzed, and expressed their support. Your message, your shared ugly, and your prayers have been a shield against despair. Finally, we thank Mrs. Akosua Serwaa and her children for their unwavering strength and dignity in the face of torrent of deception and institutional failure. Your fight is our fight. This press conference is not an end. It is a clarion call making the beginning of a sustained campaign for rectification. We will use every lawful and peaceful means available. We will not rest until the marriage certificate is recognized, the stolen properties are recovered, the body is respectfully laid to rest by his rightful family, and those who have perpetrated this fraud are held to account. Truth crashed to earth shall rise again. We stand with truth. Thank you.